All right, let's take a look at BWV. I've been looking at this one more so recently. Oops. It's been kind of had a few momentum days here. If I can expand this chart. So, a bit of an uptrend past few days. And we finally see a little bit of a test of the 7 today. Really that 717 is kind of the level to watch for. It's the breakout, kind of I would say the key breakout level, just because it was the high of the earlier gap day. Let's see if I can make this out. Actually, it was more. It's more like around 712. We seem to be wedging on the daily close to that. If we look at what kind of happened today, not much in the extended hours, but then had a pretty volatile open on an uptrend, real kind of consolidation on VWAP. Volume on our side decreases. You see a flush down. Does find support here to 612. Then ends up making a comeback later in the day for another test of that 712 level. I mean, barely breaks it, but doesn't really have enough to hold. We are now kind of holding the 6.5 just below VWAP. I think this is kind of an interesting one. This had a pretty volatile day. I mean, if you look at the daily candle, kind of price rejection on both the top and bottom ends, but it still seems to be uptrending towards, I think, tomorrow, if it can stay above this like 650, more ideally above the 675 range on the open, and just kind of stay strong with some decent buying, I think you might get a test of that 715, really 710, 715 level again. And if you can break that with some volume, I think you might have a better breakout. And we did have some volume on the second test of that today. So, I mean, you might have some shorts from a few days before covering at that level, risking off that level. I think also it's just going to have kind of an indicator for buyers to really get aggressive. I mean, kind of a wedge pattern breaking out over that 715 level. So, definitely had a lot of momentum, a lot of green days. So, maybe it could see a pullback today. I think, if it pulls back to that 610 level tomorrow, I think it's still, within the realms of possibly making a test at 7, perhaps the next day. But ultimately, right now, just kind of watching, hope if it can hold a 650 in the morning. Otherwise, hopefully not hopefully, but if it finds support at 610, you might consider that as a pullback. Just to see, it just depends on if the kind of buying and volume stays in. I mean, today we had decent volume, roughly 20 million shares or so. So it's been pretty consistent. I mean, if you look at the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trading days, there was one small green day, but the two red candles are the smallest volumes outside of that. 5 million roughly, and roughly 2 million, 1.5. Then you have the first green just a little bit at under 3 million. And so you kind of get this wedge up. Definitely one to watch. I think some other ones to watch are RIDE. We had this on the watch list this morning. Gapped up in extended hours. Made a huge move today. Breakout over 205 on big volume. And then just really consolidated at this 225 range. Get that on the daily. I think kind of the next level And we really almost have like a level at this 240 range. Closed out really strong. I think definitely one to watch in the morning if it can still hold $2 for sure. I'm more ideally around this 225 for the break of 224, because then you might have a bigger window up. I don't know, maybe a 2.7 might be the next point of resistance. Let's look at CGEM. Again, this one was on the watch list this morning. Big volume day, but really kind of traded sideways. Had some spikes in the extended hours in the pre-market, and then just really just hugged VWAP the rest of the day. We were in a bit of an oversold point if you look at the daily just before today. So this might be a sign of a possible uptrend. We've got resistance at that 975 range. Didn't really touch that at all during the day. But if it can hold roughly this 9, maybe we get to test this 975 with possible move up to 1025. I don't think it's going to get enough volatility momentum to really make a big swing intraday. This might be more of like a swing trade over the few next days. Possibly aiming to reclaim that 1025 area after a point of oversold. Because I believe it was earnings are tomorrow, so definitely one to watch tomorrow. I mean, if earnings are good, you might see that range up, or that reclaim of that 1025 range. If bad, it's going to have a fight to stay above that 560 or that 860 level. But earnings are before market, so definitely one to watch for tomorrow.